Yes, we welcome our viewers here in the United States and parts of the world. Today I have Mr. Ndalama, Mwawandalama. We will continue with our program that we started last week. We'll be talking about leadership. I will also try to compare the leadership, the political leadership in Zambia compared to the political leadership here in the United States for our viewers to fully understand what we are talking about. There are certain terms that we use, like when we say MCC, when we say NEC, when we say all those names. So I would try to interpret all those names so that our viewers here can fully understand what we are talking about and they can fully follow us. So let me welcome Mr. Ndalama on the program today. Welcome, Mr. Ndalama. Give your brief introduction.
Thank you so much, Mr. Phiri, and thank you for everyone who is doing this commendable job. My name is Edward Mwawandalama, born and bred in Ndola, an electrical engineer by profession. I'm a believer in leadership, and from that score, I do have a few, leadership positions across Africa and across other, organizations, international organizations. Yeah, so it's a good thing for me to talk about leadership today, and like we spoke last time, I do believe once again that everything falls on leadership. So where there's leadership, there's development. If there's no leadership, nothing moves. Thank you so much, Mr. Phiri.
Okay, so yes, thank you, Mr. Ndalama, and you are welcome here. And I would like our viewers to understand when we say MCC, it stands for Members of Central Committee. That body, when we are here in the United States, we can compare with what they call RNC, Republican National Committee, or DNC, Democratic National Committee. So that is the body that controls the Democratic Party. It's called DNC. It is a national committee that will control all the activities of the Democrats as a party. I think the Republicans have their own too. They call it NRC. So I'm sorry, RNC, Republican National Committee. So this is what we have over there. We just call it different names. And then I would like also to explain the political ideology. When we say PF, it stands for Patriotic Front. And their political ideology is Social Democrats. When we compare them with the American system, we'll be calling the Patriotic Front the same as the Democrats here. But in the Democratic Party, there are other wings, there are other regular Democrats, and there is also some progressive Democrats. I think we have like the wing, the Senator, for example, the Senator Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party is exactly what we'd be calling the Patriotic Front in Zambia. When we come to the other political party, which is a major one, is called the UPND. The UPND stands for United Party for National Development. If we come to the American system of politics, we would be calling the UPND the hardcore Republicans, the real Republicans. So I think that is what I can compare these political systems to. So when you hear us saying PF or Patriotic Front, we are actually saying the Democrats. When you hear us saying the UPND or the United Party for National Development, what we are really saying is the Republicans. So the Democrats lost election in Zambia, which is the Patriotic Front lost elections in Zambia. The Republicans, which is UPND, they won the election. So they are now in government. So this is what we are talking about now. So last week, we spoke with Mr. Ndalama on the area of leadership. We were saying it's better for the Patriotic Front, if they have to revive themselves back, it's better that they bring in some new people. We reached where we said we can have some old guards with experience, and we can also have new people with fresh blood, so that we can combine these forces and rebrand the Patriotic Front. So that's where we left, Mr. Ndalama, and I would like you to continue from there.
For me, honestly, I don't see what they call rebranding. I don't see it. I don't know actually what these guys are doing, but I think understanding from my few knowledge that I have about rebranding is not a simple thing. Branding, you know, it calls for one to be honest with themselves. Two, okay, to take that introspection and see where did we go wrong and what can we do differently. You know, because if you think you can play a new game with the same old dogs, you know, it's in an English word, it's very, very difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. So
yeah,
if you think you can rebrand with the same people, that caused you to lose, you're cheating yourself. I don't think that's how things work. You know, so.
Yeah, even me, I think that rebranding with the old people is going to be very difficult, because the people already refused the old people. So if PF can't look into these things, I just don't see how they are going to win an election. Have you seen? I just don't see how they are going to win any election. And people are suffering. People are thinking that PF was even better than the UPND, you know. So I don't know why PF cannot give chance to other people who can, other new faces that can come in to rebrand. I just don't see why they can do that, you know. I don't just get the logic, you know. When MMD was being formed, we saw that there were big people that were in front. For example, Scotta Winner, Arthur Winner, all those, may their soul rest in peace. Those people were, those people were not selfish. They were very patriotic. They put the country first. You know, they weighed in themselves. They knew that if they were going to stand with UNIP government, UNIP as a party, most likely President Kaunda was going to win. So they brought in a different face who had support and credibility from the Zambian people, from the trade union, who was Dr. Frederick Chiruba. And they won the election that way because they brought in what the people wanted. And I don't see why PF is failing to do that. Do you, Mr. Ndalama, do you see patriotism in refusing to bring in new people?
Mr. P, for me, like I said, it will be very, very difficult for you know. I don't see these guys doing anything serious. You know, it's I really don't understand. You know, it's not possible. And one thing that you should know that politics are very dynamic in Zambia now. It's they are very, very dynamic. And if you can come back after losing an election, I've never seen that in Zambia happening, and I don't see it coming soon, anytime. It's not possible. I honestly believe that the party that is going to form government after UPND is not PF again. PF, it keeps dying each and every single day with whatever is happening. They are fighting because everyone wants to be a boss, everyone wants to be in a position, everyone wants to be a leader of this political party. So no one is putting the organization first. It's about personal egos. It's about personal and preservation and whatever they want to get from there. So, and leadership, it doesn't operate like that. I honestly don't see them coming back. It's not possible. The same, we can't continue talking about this, that have been there for a long, long time, and then we think we can change anything. It doesn't operate like that.
Yeah, but even me, I don't see PF coming back. If this is the trajectory that we are moving on, I don't see them coming back. And I want to ask you something different, Mr. Ndalama. It seems to me that the Electoral Commission head announced that they are going to include the diaspora in the next election. They want the diaspora to vote, which is welcome because we can also participate. So, but I want to hear your views. What is the take in the community, in the people on the ground? What do people feel? Are they comfortable, or what do they feel? Because I heard some reactions from certain quarters of the society. Some of them are saying, no, it's going to bring some rigging. Others are saying, oh, it's welcome. So what's your take, Mr. Ndalama?
I haven't read about that, but if it is true, I think every Zambian has got the right to vote for their leader in their country, regardless where a Zambian is right now. So, if you're a Zambian, you live in the US, you're a Zambian, you live in Canada. I mean, you've got relatives here in Zambia, and you probably even send certain things for them. So what happens in the country of Zambia somehow, direct and indirect, it will affect you. So every Zambian who lives abroad and in what we call the diaspora has got the right to vote for the leaders of this country. So if that is true, I think it's a good thing, because it doesn't matter. Why should you disenfranchise someone because he's not living physically in the country where he comes from? I think if it is true, then it's a good thing. And I would love to recommend the EIZ if they can come up with such facility of allowing Zambians that are living in diaspora to vote. So for me, it can be a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because you see, as the diasporians, we have been disenfranchised for a long time. But I think that the diaspora is contributing to the development of the country very much. For example, they send money to their relatives every day. And the government is benefiting from that money because they don't give the relatives the US dollars. The diaspora send US dollars to Zambia, but Zambia will give the relatives in local currency, and they keep the dollar. So they are benefiting from the diaspora, and I think that it's only fair for the diaspora to participate in these elections. I have seen so many problems in the diaspora. For example, there are youths who have passed the age of 18 and they never went back to Zambia. Those diasporians, those Zambians are suffering because the Zambian government cannot renew their passports. They cannot give them new passports. And so when they don't give them new passports, that is becoming a problem for them because they can't go to school, they can't go to college, they can't go to work. Okay? And so if it is true, we believe that youths are the future leaders of the country, it is only fair for them to participate in these elections. That's what I think. Now, let me ask you another thing from Zesco. We are hearing so many reports that there are people are being fired at Zesco with no reason. And we are hearing that Zesco is contracting 10 foreign companies to provide poles for the electricity. And I'm wondering if there is no Zambian company that can provide those poles. And if not, all these years from 1964 to now, we didn't import these poles. So how come we are importing them now? Do you have anything to say about that?
Of course I do. You know, Zesco, it's a very, very important company to the development of this country. But it's unfortunately that it seems a trend that every government or every political party that forms government wants to have a bigger stake how these companies run. You know, starting from MMD, the PF themselves, you know, we can't say that it never had a big influence in the running the affairs of Zesco. So Zesco is a company, if we are let it to be, you know, controlled by professionals, people that really want to put the country first, not politicians, it can be, you know, a big company that should, you know, bring a lot of revenue to our country. You know, but you would find that once politicians get into positions, they want to have control over Zesco. And at the end of the day, Zesco right now is highly indebted, you know, company that was supposed to make business for this country. Why? Because politicians, like I said, these people are not leaders. They really want to get, you know, something out of whatever they have, you know, which is very, very unfortunate, you know, because for me, like I said, the leadership demands that we do something better than we found it. And I can confirm to you that I've got friends that have been fired, or their employment terminated in Zesco for no apparent reason that I know. And these are highly qualified people. You know, they have been abroad, they have been, you know, exposed to different skill sets and experiences. But these people are being fired. So, and trust me, no one has been replaced in those positions as we speak right now, which is very, very unfortunate. The politicians, they should never, ever think that when the Zambian people give them that mandate to run over the affairs of this country, then it means the country belongs to them. No, they are just stewards of our natural resources, our resources and everything. They are not, they should never make a mistake to think that they are our bosses. No, we employ these people. Whatever they are getting is through our tax. We pay them, we feed them, we pay for their children, we pay for their medical fees. They are not our bosses. They are servants of the people, and they need to do what is right to advance the development of this country, not to advance their only personal egos and personal stomachs, you know, which is very, very unfortunate. Because Zesco, like I said, I'm an electrical, I have a lot of guys, my friends in Zesco, and we need to change the way politicians are doing things. Politicians don't understand things. They're just good at talking, you know, and seem to be so smart about things that they don't know. So let Zesco be controlled by professional people. We've got enough professional people in Zambia that can run Zesco and turn it to a profit-making venture to benefit each and every person in this country and for the future generations to come. So I pray that one day these politicians will think that once we give them employment, they become so, you know, pompous and they think that they know everything. This country doesn't belong to the politicians. It's not theirs. It belongs to the Zambians. And everything like Zesco, it belongs to the Zambians. That's why it's called Zambia Electric Supply. It starts with Zambia. It doesn't start with any political name in front. So politicians and those that we put in positions, they should know that they will never be there forever. And what they should understand that if you want to be a leader, leave a legacy, do something to, you know, to uplift. If you find a company going down, do something so that it becomes a better company. But as we keep on seeing the continuation of these politicians with, you know, their mediocre thinking of thinking that they own all the knowledge, forgetting that the Zambians are watching. It's a very unfortunate thing. I pray that one day we can have leaders that are going to put this country first, because this country belongs to every Zambian who lives abroad and within this country. So I pray that Zesco, and it can be led to the professionals to run it. It has enough capacity. It has enough guys, I know them, that are intelligent. They can run Zesco properly and turn into a business, a venture that will make profit for this country. And when you talk about, in contracting foreign companies directly by Zesco to supply, POS, for me, every country should have deliberate means to empower its own people. So instead of going direct to those people, if we can't manage on our own to supply the POS, why can't we engage Zambians? Because that's how we empower your people. If those people, the suppliers, the local suppliers, are empowered to do business, they will have something. And if they have something, it's a very simple thing. They will have the ripple effect in their communities and where they're coming from. And once they have enough liquid, those that are running to mountain bars and small businesses, they will have customers to buy from them. That's how it works. So you can't collect all the money, you're suffocating your own people and think that's how you develop. It doesn't operate like that. So we need to be a bit flexible and empower our own people. The locals need to be empowered to do business with Zesco, regardless of their political affiliation, as long as someone is a Zambian. And I think we need to change the mindset of thinking only some people that belong to a certain political party, then they have got the monopoly and the knowledge and the mandate to run businesses in this country. So this is why we can't develop unless we change and say, everyone, regardless where he's coming from, if he can do a good job, don't look at the name, don't look at or insinuate that they belong to a certain political party because of their surnames. It's very unfair. Thank you so much, Apel.
Yes, I agree with you on these points. I think that the government should reverse the $30 million contract. You see, if the people of Zambia, they have removed them from the streets, they have removed them, these people can't even sell anything on the street, they have removed everything, they haven't been able to provide employment for these people, and taking $30 million contract, giving it to the foreigners, not even one single Zambian company, out of the 10 companies that have been contracted, not even a single one Zambian company has been given a chance. I think that the government should reverse this decision. It's a bad decision, and it's not a good decision. It's inflicting so much pain on the Zambian people. The Zambian people have already suffered enough. So it's not fair to subject them to another round of suffering. I think the government should reverse that decision, and the government should also stop the alleged firing of people on political grounds. Alleged firing of people from Zesco on political grounds. I think Mr. Ndalama is an electrical engineer from the Gov't University, so he knows what he's talking about. That's where he has trained, from the Gov't University, so he knows what he's talking about. So let the government listen to the people. Have you seen? Let the government listen to the people. Our time is well spent, so we are going to continue with this discussion next week. And I would like to ask you, Mr. Ndalama, give your closing remarks.
Okay, thanks so much once again, Mr. Piri. It's so disheartening for me, to see what, this country, which is so rich, so, with its good people, very hardworking people. But I think the part that we lack is the leadership part of it. We need people in key positions, not just politicians, in all these parastatal companies, to put in something to see, if you come into an office, what is it that I'm going to do better than I found it? So we need to put this country first. Let's be patriotic. We only have one Zambia. And we should not look at tribes, where one is coming from or what surname that one has. I think it's mediocre thinking like that. You can't go on thinking in terms of tribes when people are intermarriages in this time. And people from America and Canada, they are marrying Zambians, and Zambians are marrying those people. So can you still think in that cocoon of a mind to be talking about tribalism? And for you to employ someone, let's look at people, regardless of where they're coming from. Look at the capabilities and the skills and what they are going to bring at every level of leadership, so that together we can pull in one direction to put this country first. And it's been long overdue. We can't be talking about poverty in Zambia when we have got everything. Plant land which is virgin, a lot of water. 40% of fresh water is in Zambia. We've got all these things. I don't see a reason why we are not developing and why we can't develop. It's all about mindset, and this mindset is about leadership. So if we need to have a development plan, let's have the right people in key position, and every person that we employ, they need to be innovative, to be creative, not just to make noise and talk too much and give fake promises because they're getting paid. I mean, we are big people. We can do better than that. Please. Thank you so much, Mr. P.
Thank you, Mr. Ndalama. And we come to the close of our broadcast. And the only thing that we can say is that please, the UPND government, listen to the cry of the people. UPND government, President Hakainde Hichilema, please listen to the cry of the people who we have voted for you. Listen to the cry of the people. Please, find it in your heart. Find it in your soul to feel for the people. People are suffering. Thank you.